Hello and welcome to the Troupe's production of The Tempest by William Shakespeare. This show is in the public domain, so photography and videography are permitted during this performance. This production will be recorded, so please be kind to our cast and videographers by refraining from filming video and flash photography. Please take this time to silence all electronic devices. This show will be comprised of 5 acts, and there will be a 10-minute intermission after Act 2. And now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Boatswain!
Here, master, what cheer?
Good. Speak to the mariners. Call to it yearly, or we run ourselves aground. Best sir, best sir.
Aye, my hearts, cheerly, cheerly, my hearts. Take in the topsail, tend to the master's whistle, blow till I burst thy wind, if room enough.
Have care. Where's the master? Play the men.
I pray now, keep below.
Where is the master, boatswain?
Do you not hear him? You are mar our labor. Keep to your cabin, you do assist the storm.
Nay, good. Be patient.
When the sea is hence, what cares these roars for the name of the king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good. Remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I love more than myself. You are a counselor. If you can command these elements to silence and bring pace to the present moment, we will not hand a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour, if it so hap. Cheerly good, out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Down with the topmast, yar, lower, lower. Set her to try with the main course. A plague upon this howling! They are louder than our weather office. Yet again? What are you doing here? Do you wish to sink? Do you have a mind to drown?
A pox on your throat, you bawling bluffers and charitable dog!
Work you then!
Hang, cur! Hang, you whoreson and insolent noisemaker! We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art.
I warrant him for hanging, though the ship were no stronger than a nutshell, and were as leaky as an unstanched wench.
Lay her a hold! Set her two courses! Off to sea again! Lay her off!
I lost! To press! To press! I lost!
What, must our mouths be called?
The king and prince at prayers, let us assist them, for their cases is ours.
I am out of patience!
We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-chopped rascal would thou mightst lie drowning the washing of 10 tides!
He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it, and gape at wits to glut him.
Mercy on us! We split! Farewell, my wife and children! We split!
Let's all sing with the king!
Let's take leave of him!
I would give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, brown furs, long heath, anything. The wills above be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
spire art my dearest father. You have put the wild waters in this roar. Allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those I saw suffer. A brave vessel, who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. The cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and all the frightening souls within her.
Have comfort, no more amazement. Tell thy piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic a garment from me. So, lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. Of the direful spectacle of the rack which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine art, so safely ordered it, that there is no soul, and not so much a perdition as in hair, did to any creature in that vessel which thou heardest cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down, thou must now no farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me at a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hours now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear, obey, and be attentive. Dost thou remember a time before we came into this island? I do not think thou canst, for thou wast then not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or person? Of anything, tell me what hath kept within thy remembrance.
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Yes, thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how's it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayest.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
But, sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she swore thou wast my daughter. And thy father was the Duke of Milan, and his only heir, a princess no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we camest from thence? Or blessed was it we did?
Both, my dear girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved hence, but blessedly helped here.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the teen that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you farther.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, I pray thee mark me that our brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I loved, to him I put the manage of my state, as at that time through all signores it was the first, and Prospero, the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity, and for liberal arts without a parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny him, who to advance, and who to trash for overtopping, you created those creatures that were mine, I say, or changed him or else new formed him, having both the key of officer and office, set all hearts in the state to what tune pleased his ear. Now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk, and such my verdure out on it. Thou attendest not.
Good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I thus, neglecting all worldly lust, dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so retired, overprized all popular rate, and my false brother awaked an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget in him a falsehood in his country as great as my trust was, which indeed had no bound, a confidence without a limit. He being thus lorded, not only with what my revenue yielded, but with what my power might else exact, like one who, having into truth by the telling of it, in such a sinner of his memory, to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution, assuming the outward performance of this royalty with all a prerogative. Hence, his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your deafness.
Mark the condition and the event, and tell me if this might be called a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now the condition. The King of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that, in lieu of the premises of homage, I know not how much tribute, he presently extirpate to me and mine out of the dukedom, confer Fairmont with all the honors on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight pitted to the purpose did Antonio open the gates of the city. In the dead of darkness, the ministers hurried thence me and thy crying self.
Alack for pity. I, not remembering how I cried out then, will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that reins my eyes to it.
Here a little farther, and I'll bring you to the situation which now is upon us, without the which the situation were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well, it demanded, my dear girl, my tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not. So great was the love my people bore me, nor set they a mark so bloody upon another business, but with colors fairer painted their foul ends. In brief, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a butt, not rigged, no tackle, no sail, nor mast, even the rats have quitted. There hoist us to cry to the sea, which roared back to us, aside to the winds, whose loving pity, sighing back again, did us loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble I was then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast that didst preserve me. Thou didst smile, infused with the fortitude from heaven, when I decked the sea with drops full salt, which raised me a stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine, some food we had and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, who, being master of this design, did give us with rich garments, linen stuffs, and other things, which since have studied much. So out of his kindness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me with volumes from mine own library, which I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever meet that man.
Now I arise. Sit still to the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island did we arrive, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can. So time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. And now, pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my heart, your reason for raising this sea storm?
No, thus far forth. By accident most strange, a bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. And by my patience upon my this doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if I court not, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here, cease more questions, thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come, my servant, come. I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel. Come.
All hail, great master, hail, great sir. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the cold cloud, to thy strong bidding task, Ariel and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
Oh, to every article, sir. I boarded the king's ship. Now in the decks, the waist in every cabin, I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divide and burn in many places the mast, the bowsprit, the rigging, all afire. Then meet and join Jove's lightning, the precursors of the dreaded thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning when not. The fire and brimstone of sulphurous cracking seem to besiege the most mighty Neptune, made his bold waves tremble and his dread trident shake.
That's my brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this did not infect his reason.
Oh, not a soul but felt the fever of the mad, and played some tricks of desperation. Oh, but the mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. The king's son Ferdinand was the first that jumped, crying, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here!"
That's my brave spirit. 'Twas not this nigh shore,
Close by, master.
but are they, Ariel, safe?
Oh, not a hair perished on their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou biddest me, about the isle in troops have I dispersed them. The king's son I landed by himself in an odd angle of the isle, cooling the air with sighs, his arms in his sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou dispersed and all the rest of the fleet.
Oh, safely in harbour is the king's ship, where once thou callest me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermuths. There she's hid, the mariners all under hatches stowed, who with a charm, joined to their suffered labour, I have left asleep. As for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they have met again and are now upon the Mediterranean afloat, bound safely home for Naples, supposing they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
Ariel, the charge exactly is performed, but there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. Ariel, the time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most judiciously.
The more toil, since thou dost give me pains. Let me remind you what you promised me, which is not yet delivered.
How now? Moody, what is it thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out? No more.
Sir, let me remind you, I have done you good service, made no mistakings, told no lies, served without grouch or grumblings. Thou promised to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No, sir.
Thou dost, and thinks it much to tread upon the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, and do me business in the veins of the earth when it is caked in frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Dost thou remember the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy has grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgotten her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Asia, sir.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. This damned witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible, from Argier, thou knowest, was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and left here by the mariners. Thou, my slave, as thou reportest thyself, was then her servant. For that thou wast too weak to act her earthly and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee, with the help of her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, where thou didst imprisoned painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died and left thee there, but has vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then it was this island, save for that son that she did litter here, freckled whelp, hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
That Caliban's son.
Dull thing I say, so he who I now keep in my service. Thou bestowest from what a torment I did find thee in. The groans did make wolves howl, and penetrates the breasts of ever angry bears. It was torments to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was by mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak, and peg thee this intro so thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master, I will be corresponded to thy command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so, and after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master! Say, what shall I do? What?
Go, make thyself like a nymph for the sea, be subject to no eye but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, take the shade hither, come in it, quickly, with diligence. Awake, dear heart, thou hast slept well. Awake.
strangeness of your story has put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, who I do not love to look on.
Well, yes, but as 'tis we cannot miss him. He does fetch in our wood, light our fire, and serve in other such offices that profit us. What ho, slave Caliban? Thou earth, thou speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise, when? Fine apparition, hark in thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou most wicked slave, got by the devil himself upon thy dam, come forth.
As wicked do as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, drop on you both. A southwest blow on you, blister you all over.
For this, be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall forth at fast of night that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than the bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine by Sycorax, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren and fertile. Cursed be that I did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toad, beetle, bat, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you stymie this hard rock, while you do keep me from the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness, I have used thee, filth as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh, would it had been done. Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, which any prince of goodness will not take, being capable of all ills. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other. When thou didst not, savage, know thy own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish, I endowed thy words with purposes that gave them meaning. When thou didst learn, had that in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined to this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. The red plague rig ye for learning me your language.
Hagseed, hence. Fetch us wood, and be quick about it. Thou art best to answer other business. Shruggest thou, malice? If thou neglectest, just unwillingly what I command, I will fill thy bones with aches, rack thee with old cramps, make thee roar that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee. Oh, I must obey. His art is of such power it would control my damned god, Setipos, and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence!
Yeah.
And take hands, curtsied when you haven't kissed. The wild waves whist, so footed featly here and there, and sweeter sprites by the burden. Woof, woof! Hark, hark, the watchdogs bark! Woof, woof! Hark, hark, I hear the strain of a strutting chanticleer cry. Cock-a-doodle-doo!
Where should this music be? In the air or the earth? It sounds no more, and sure it waits upon some god of the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrack. This music crept by me along the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Hence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather. It sounds no more. No, it begins again!
5, thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him doth fade, but suffers a sea change into something new and strange. Sea nymphs Ari ring his knell, hark, hark, I hear ding dong bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal sound, nor no music the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The frigid curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No. See, it eats and sleeps and hath such senses as we have. Such. This gallant whom thou seest was in the rack, and by something stained with grief. That's beauty's a canker. You might just call him a goodly person. He had lost his fellows and strays about to find him.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Vouchsafe my prayer. Know that if you remain upon this island, may some good instruction give, how I may bear me here. My last request, which I do now pronounce, is, oh, you wonder if you be a maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens! I am the best of them that speak this speech, were I but where it is spoken.
How? The best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing as I am now, who wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes at ebb beheld the king, my father, racked.
Alack for mercy!
Yes, faith and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his son being twain.
Ere the Duke of Milan, whose more braver daughter, could control thee, if now 'twere fit to do it, at the first sight they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word, sir, I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw, the first for which I laid eyes on. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin in your affection be forthcoming, I'll make you the queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, not one word more. They are both in each other's powers, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more, sir, I charge thee that thou attendest me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou ownest not, and put thyself upon this island as a spy, to win it from me, the lord on it.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If ill spirits have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. Speak not for him, he is a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink, thy food to be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots, and husk when the acorn cradled. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment until mine enemy have more power.
Oh, dear father, make not too rash trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What? My foot? My tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makes a show, but darest not strike. His conscience is too possessed with guilt. Come from the word, for I can here disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech thee, father.
Hence, hang not on my garments.
Father, please, I'll be his surety.
Silence. One word more to make me chide thee, if not hate thee. An advocate for an impostor? Hush. Thou thinkst there are no more such shapes as he having seen but him and Caliban. Foolish wench. To the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on then, obey. The nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor left in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. The weakness which I feel, the wrack of all my friends, nor this man's threat, are but light to me. Might I through my prison but once a day behold this maid, all corners else of the earth make room. Space have I, in such a prison.
It works. Come on, thou hast done well, a fine Ariel. Follow me. Hark what else thou shalt do for me.
Be of comfort. My father is of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is unwanted which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but until then, exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not for him. Come.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy. For our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the master of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, and I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Thus, wisely, good Lord, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him over so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By the by it will strike.
Sir,
One tell.
when every grief is entertained that's offered, comes the entertainer.
$1.
Dolor comes, indeed. You have spoken truer than you have purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I intended that you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
I prithee, spare.
well, I have done, but yet,
He will be talking.
Which of he or Adrian for a good wager first begins to crow?
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Although this island seems to be desert,
And so you're paid.
uninhabitable, and almost inaccessible,
Yet?
yet
He could not miss it.
it must needs be of a more delicate, subtle, tender temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and a subtle one, as he most learnedly delivered.
The air breathes upon us most sweetly here.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by a fen.
here is everything advantageous to life.
True, save means to live.
Of that there is none, or very little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green.
The ground, indeed, is tawny.
There is an eye of green in it.
He misses not much.
No, he but doth mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is almost beyond credit,
As many vouchsafed rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were, holds, notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, rather than being stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we first put them on in Afric at the marriage of the fair king's daughter to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never before graced with such a paragon as their queen.
Not since widow Dido's time.
Ha! Widow, a pox of that! How came that widow in? Widow Dido? Ha!
What if he had said Widow Aeneas? Good Lord, how you take it?
Widow Dido, said you? Sir, you make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous harp.
He has raised the walls and the houses too.
Which impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will pluck up this island, put it in his pocket, and take it home to his son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why, in good time.
Sir, we were just talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were in Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
Wait, I beseech thee, O widow Dido.
Oh, widow Dido, I, widow Dido.
Is not my doublet as fresh as the day I first wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married her there, for coming thence my son is lost, and at that rate she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal of thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat back the surges under him and ride upon their backs like a champion. He trod the water, whose enemy he flung aside, and not even the most swollen of the waves seemed to stop him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and he oared himself toward shore in good strokes with his arms. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
Well, you may blame yourself for this great loss, for you would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but lose her to a foreigner. Well, she is banished from your eyes. Who has cause to wet the grief on it?
Prithee, peace.
You were bowed between an inopportune otherwise, and the fair soul herself kneeled between loathness and obedience. Oh, which end of the beam should bow? We have lost your son, I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have, of this business, more widows than we bring home men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the loss.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most urgently.
It is foul weather, and is all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather?
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord?
He'd sow it with nettle seed.
Or ducks, or mallows.
And were the king on it, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine?
I would. By contraries, execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit. No name of magistrate. Letters should not be known. Riches, poverty, and use of service, none. Contract, succession, born, bound of land, none. Use of corn or metal or wine or oil, none. No occupation. All men idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure. No sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it.
Ha! The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
Commonwealth should produce without sweat or endeavor. Treason, felony, pike, knife, gun, sword, or need of any engine would I not have. Nature should of its own kind produce all poison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
God bless his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo.
I would, with such perfection, rule to excel the golden age.
No marrying among his subjects? None. Man, all idle whores and knaves.
Do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe your highness, and I did such to administer occasion to these gentlemen who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they always use to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing still to you. So you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
Oh, what a blow was there given!
It had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in it 5 weeks without changing.
Aye, we would so too, and then go a bat-following.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I'll warrant you, I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh at me asleep? For I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
What, all so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would, with themselves, shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Do not omit the heavy offer of it, sir, for it so rarely visits sorrow, and when it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you, wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it then not affect mine eyes? I do not feel inclined to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. Oh, what might, O worthy Sebastian! Oh, what might! No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face, what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What, art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak, man?
Surely I do, and it is a sleepy language, yet thou sayest out of thy sleep? What a strange repose, to be with eyes wide open, walking, moving, speaking, yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep, die rather winks while thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom, and you must be so too, if heed me, to do that which trebles thee over.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so, to ebb. Hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, while thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invest it. Ebbing men indeed so often do near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, sail on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a purpose, and a birth indeed which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, though this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of as little memory when he is earthed, hath here almost persuaded, for he is a spirit of persuasion, and only professes to persuade the king his sons alive. 'Tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope one way is another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Claribel.
She that is queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from Naples can have no note until the sun were post, the man of the moon's too slow, till newborn chins be rough and razorable, she that from whom we all were swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act, where what's past is prologue, and what's to come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How sayest you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter is queen of Tunis, so is she heir of Naples. Twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Claribel measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wake. Say this were death that now hath seized them. Why, they are no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps. lords who can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a chuff of as deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep this were for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I do recall you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True, true. And look how well my garments sit upon me, much feeter than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows. Now they are my men.
But what of your conscience?
Aye, sir, where lies that? If 'twere a kite, 'twould put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candied be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the ground he lies upon. If he were that now he's like, that's dead, whom I with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever, while you, doing thus, this perpetual wing I may put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. For all the rest, they'll take the suggestion as the cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gott'st Milan, so shall I come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth to keep you living, or else his scheme dies. While you who here do sleeping lie, open-eyed conspiracy, his time doth take, so of life you care. Shake off slumber's charm, beware. Awake, awake!
Now, good angels, preserve the king.
Why, how now? Oh, awake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we were securing your repose, we heard a great bellowing, like bulls or lions. It did not wake you. It struck my ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, it was a din to frighten the monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Surely it was the roaring of a whole pride of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and a strange one too, that did wake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we leave this place.
Lead off, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heaven preserve him from these beasts, for he is surely in the isle.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, on Prosper fall and make him by inchmeal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll not pinch me, throw me in the mire, or lead me like a firebrand out of the dark, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle are they set upon me, sometimes like apes that bite and scratch at me, and then yell at me, other times like hedgehogs that lie my barefoot way and prick at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders, who do with cloven tongues hiss me into madness. Lo now, lo, here comes a spirit of his, and to taunt me for bringing wood in slowly. I'll fall flat, but chance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all, and another storm brewing. I hear it singing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would jet his liquor. Should it thunder now as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. What have we here? A man or a fish, dead or alive? A fish, he smells like a fish, a very ancient and fish-like smell, a kind of not of the newest, poor John, a strange fish, where in England now as I once was and had this fish painted, not a holiday fool there would have given me a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man, any strange beast there makes a man, when he'll not give a doit to a lame beggar, he'll tend to see a dead Indian. Like a man, and fins like arms, warm on my troth. I do not let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, this is an islander that has recently suffered by thunderstroke. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows, and I shall here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more to sea, here I shall die ashore. This is a scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner, and his mate, loved Moll and Meg and Marion and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she'd a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savor of tar nor pitch, though a tailor may scratch her where she did itch. So to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune, too. But here's my comfort.
Do not torment me. Oh.
What is the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon me with savages and men of Ind? I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your forelegs. For it hath been said, as proper a man ever went on 4 legs, cannot make him give ground, and it shall be said so again while Stephano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me. Oh.
This is some monster of the isle who has got, as I take it, an ague. Where in the devil should he learn our language? Well, I will offer him some relief. If it be but for that, if I can recover him and tame him and keep him and get to Naples with him, he's as good a gift for any emperor whose trial needs leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
Oh, he's in his fit now. And he doesn't talk after the wisest. Well, he shall taste of my bottle. If he's never drunk wine afore, it'll go near to remove his fit. If I can keep him tame and recover him, I won't take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. This is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking. I can tell you that, and that soundly. Ugh, come on your ways. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice, but he is drowned and these are devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voices do not speak well of his friend, while his backward voices to utter foul speeches and detract. Well, if all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come. Amen, I shall pour some in thy other mouth.
Stephano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy. These are devils and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stephano, if thou be it Stephano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Do not be afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I shall pull thee by thy lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Oh! Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed by thunderstroke, but thou art not drowned, Stephano. I hope that thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under a dead calf's gabardine for fear of the storm. But thou art living, Stefano. Oh, Stefano, to Neapolitan scare!
Prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that's a brave god and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How thou escapest? How camest thou hither? Swear now, how camest thou hither? I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. I swear I by this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree since I've been cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Swear now, how thou escapest?
Swim ashore, man. I can swim like a duck, and I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Thou canst swim like a duck, but thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stefano, hast thou any more of this?
The whole butt, man. My cellar's in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, mooncalf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Amen. Come, swear to that. Kiss the book. I shall furnish it anon with new contents.
By this light, this is a very shallow monster. I have feared him, a weak monster. The man in the moon, a poor, credulous monster. Well-drawn monster, in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I'll kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
By this good light, this is a very perfidious and drunken monster. When's God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on, then. Down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. I could find it in my heart to beat him.
Come on, kiss.
But this monster's in drink, an abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster, to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
Let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scammels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee, lead the way, without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all company, elsewise being drowned, we shall inherit here. Come, bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo, we shall fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master, farewell, farewell.
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
No more dams I'll make for fish, no fetch and firing at requiring, no scrape trenchering, no wash dish, ban, Caliban. As a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day, freedom, freedom, high day, freedom.
Ho-ho, brave monster, lead the way.
There be some sports are painful, and in their labor delight in them sets off. Some baseness is nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious. But the mistress I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she's 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some 1,000 of these logs and place them upon sore injunction. And my mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget, but these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labors, most busy when I do it.
Alas now, pray you work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you were enjoined to pile. Pray set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
No, sweet mistress, the sun will set before I discharge what I have set to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs a while. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor girl, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look warily.
No, sweet mistress, it's early morning for me, when you are by at night. I must ask you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers, what is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I've broken your hest to say so.
Miranda. Admired Miranda, indeed the top of admiration. Many a time have I eyed a lady, and many a time hath the virtue of their tongue brought into bondage my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, none with so full soul that some defect in them did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh, you are made of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex, no woman's face to remember save from the glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not, and would no more endure this wooden slavery than the flesh fly below my mouth. Hear me speak. The very instant I saw you did my soul fly to your service, and there resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake am I this patient log man.
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven! Oh, earth! Hear what I profess with kind event. If I speak true, if hollowly invert what best bodes me to mischief, I, above all else in the world, do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections, heaven's rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence, bashful cunning, and prompt me, plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
Aye, with a heart as willing as bondage ever of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in it, And now, farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who am surprised withal, but my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet a separate time must I perform much business appertaining.
Don't at me. When the butt is out, we'll drink water, but not a drop before. Therefore, bear up in boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster, the folly of this island. They say there's but 5 upon this isle. We are 3. If the other 2 be brain like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thine eyes are almost set in thine head.
Where else would they be set? He'd be a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
Oh, my man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam, ere I could recover the shore, 35 leagues off and on again by this light. Thou shalt be my lieutenant, servant monster. Perhaps my standard.
Lieutenant, if you list, he's no standard.
Will not run, monsieur monster?
Nor go neither. Yet you lie like dogs and yet say nothing neither.
Speak, moon calf, for once, if thou beest a good moon calf.
How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him, he is not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I'm in case to Justle the constable. Why, thou debauched fish, thou. Was there ever a man, a coward, that had drunk as much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monster sly, being but half fish and half man?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Lo, bite him to death, I prithee.
Okay, Trinculo, keep a good tongue in thy head. If thou provest to be mutineer, the next tree. This monster is my subject, and he will suffer no indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry, I will. Kneel and repeat it. I shall stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, trouble this monster in his tail one more time, and by this hand I shall supplant some of your teeth.
Why, what did I do?
Mom, then, and no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If thy greatness will, revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
Oh, how now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, my lord. I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest, thou mayst not.
What a pine is this, thou scurvy patch? I beseech thy greatness, give him blows and take his bottle away from him. When that's gone, he shall drink naught but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt this monster one more time in his tail, and by this hand I shall turn my mercy out the door and make a stockfish of thee.
Why, what did I? I'll go further off.
Did thou not say he liest?
Thou liest.
Oh, do I so? Take thou that. As you like it, give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie. And your wits in hearing too. A pox on your bottle. This can sack and drinking do. A murrain on your monster and the devil take your fingers.
Now, forward with your tail. Prithee, stand further off.
Beat him enough. After a little while, I'll come and beat him too.
Stand farther.
Why, as I told thee before, 'tis a custom of his in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or batter his skull with a log, or punch him with a stick, or cut his weasand with thy knife. Be sure to seize his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, nor hath one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls him, that when he has a house, he'll deck withal. And that, most deeply to consider, is the beauty of his daughter. I never saw a woman but my damn Sycorax, but she as far surpasseth Sycorax's greatest does least.
Is it so, a brave lass?
Aye, my lord. She will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I shall kill this man. His daughter and I shall be king and queen, save our graces. And yourself and Trinculo shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Good. Come, give me thy hand. I am sorry I beat thee, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour wilt he be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on my honor.
This I shall tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Wilt you trow the catch that you taught me but while?
I will do reason, monster, any reason. Come, fellow Trinculo, let us sing. Flat 'em and cat 'em and scat 'em and flat 'em, thought is free.
That's not the tune.
What is the same?
This is the tune of our catch played by the picture of nobody.
If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest a devil, takest thou list.
Oh, forgive my sins.
He who dies repays all debts, but I defy thee. Have mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, I am not.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of strange noises and sweet airs, things that give delight and hurt not. Why, sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and voices that, if I then had waked after long sleep, will cause me to sleep again. And then in dreaming, the clouds methought would open, with riches untold ready to fall upon me, that when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This shall prove to be a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed.
This shall be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Quick, let us follow, and after do our work.
Lead, monster, we'll follow. I would I could see this tabor. He lays it on. Wilt come?
I'll follow, Stevana.
Barlick, I can go no further. My old bones aches. Here's a maze trod through indeed, through forthrights and meanders. By your patience, I must rest me.
Old lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here I can keep hope no longer for my flatterer. He is drowned whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I am right glad that he's so out of hope. Do not, for one repulse, forgo the purpose you swore to effect.
The next opportunity shall we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are oppressed with travel. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark.
Marvelous, sweet music.
Give us kind keepers, heavens, what were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia, and one tree, the phoenix's throne, the phoenix reigning there to this very hour.
I'll believe both. And what else want credit? Come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travelers ne'er to lie, though fools at home condemn them.
If I were to report this in Naples, would anyone believe me? If I were to say I saw such islanders, for certes these are surely people of the isle, who, though they are monstrous of shape, yet note, their manners are more gentle, kind, than of our human generation. You'll find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well, for some of you here present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse. Such shape, such gesture, and such sound, expressing, though they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Praise in departing.
They vanish strangely.
Well, no matter, since they have left their viands behind, and we have stomachs. Well, will thou not eat taste of what is here, good Lord?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. Who would believe when we were boys that there were such mountaineers, dewlapped like bulls, whose throats had hanging at 'em wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts? For each now we find a putter out of 5, for one will give us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, although it may be my last, for I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the Duke, stand to and do as we.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world, and what is in it, the never surfeited sea, hath caused to belch you up, and on this isle where no man doth inhabit, you mongst men, being most unfit to live, I have made thee mad, and even with such like valor, men hang and drown their proper selves. I and my fellows are ministers of Fate, the elements of whom your swords are tempered, may as well wound the howling winds, or with oft bemocked at stabs, kill the still closing seas, as diminish one thread that's in my robes. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strength, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that is my duty to you, that you 3 from the land did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea, which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deed the powers delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition, worse than any death could be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose wraths to guard you from, for else falls upon your head in this most desolate isle is nothing but a heart's sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel, a grace it had, devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. So with good life and observation strange, my meaner ministers through several kinds have done. My high charms work, these my enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They are now all in my power, and in these fits I leave them, also go to visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved a darling.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the billows spoke of it, and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, did pronounce the name of Prosper. It did base my trespass. Therefore my son in the ooze is bedded, and I shall seek him deeper than ere plummet sounded, and with him there lie muddied.
I'll fight them legions o'er, but one fiend at a time.
I will be thy second and...
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after, begins to bite at their spirits. I beseech you that are of supplicants, follow them swiftly, and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
Follow me, I pray you.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends, for I have here given you a third of mine own life, or that for which I live, who once again I render to thy hand. All the vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. So here afore heaven I ratify this thy rich gift. Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast of her, for you shall find she shall outstrip all praise, make it halt behind her.
I do believe it, against an oracle.
So, as my gift and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take thou my daughter. But, if thou dost break her virgin knot, before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow. But barren hate, sour-eyed disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly you will hate it both. Therefore take heed that Hymen's lamps may light you.
As I wish for fair issue, good days, and long life, with such love as 'tis now the murkiest place, the most noble suggestion, our worser genius shall never melt mine honor into lust, to take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think, or Phoebe's steeds shall lay foundered, or night lay chained below.
'Tis fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What? Ariel, my industrious servant, Ariel.
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Ariel, thou and thy fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go, bring the rabble over whom I gave you power here to this place. Set them to a quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
Aye, with a twink.
Oh, before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry, so, so, each one tripping on his toe, will be here with mop and mow. Does master love me? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel, do not approach till thou dost hear my call.
Well, I conceive.
Look thou be true. Do not give dalliance so much the rein. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire in the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, sir, the white, cold, virgin snow in my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well, now approach, my Ariel. Bring a crawlery rather than want a spirit. Appear and pertly, no tongue, all eyes be silent.
Ceres' most bounteous laity of rich lees, of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats, and peas, on truffly mountains where live nibbling sheep, flat mead thatched with stover them to keep, on banks with veiled and twilled brims, which spongy April at thy vast betrims, cold nymphs chased crowns in the broom grooves, which the shadow of the dismissed bachelor loves. Thy last lord and pole-clipped vineyard, thy sea marge, sterile and rocky hard, where thyself dost air of the queen of the sky, whose watery ark and messenger am I. bids thee leave thee of her sovereign grace, here in this grass plot, in this very place, to come and to approach, her peacocks fly amid, approach rich Ceres, her to entertain.
Hail, many-colored messenger, that ne'er doth disobey the wife of Jupiter, whose saffron wings upon my flowers diffuse as honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres, my unshrubbed down, rich scarf to my proud earth. Why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short-grassed green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and donation to freely estate on the blessed lovers.
Yet tell me, heavenly beau, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen? For they didst plot the means that dusky Dis, my daughter, got. Her and her blind boy scandaled company I have forsworn.
Of her society be not afraid. I have met her deity cutting clouds with Paphos, and her son doth drawn with her the thought they have done. Some wanton charm upon the man and maid, whose vow is no bedright shall be paid, till Hymen's torch is lighted, but in vain. Mars's hot minion is returned again. Her waspish-headed son has broke all of his arrows, swears he will shoot no more, but plays with the sparrows, and be a boy right out.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by her gate.
How does my bounteous sister? Let us go and bless this twain, that they may be prosperous and honored in all their issue. Honor, riches, marriage, blessings long, continuous and increasing, hourly joys be still upon you. Juno sings her blessings on you.
Earth's increase, foys in plenty, barns and garners never empty, vines with clustering bunches growing, plants with every burden bowing. Spring comes to you at the farthest in this very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing so is on you.
This is a wondrous vision, and harmonious charmingly. Am I bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which by mine art I have called forth from their confines to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. Such a wondered father and a wise makes this place paradise.
Sweet now, silence. Juno and Ceres whisper seriously. Something else to do. Hush and be mute, or else our spell is marred.
You nymphs called naiads of wintering brooks, with your sedged crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels on this very land. Answer your summons, Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late. You sunburned sicklemen of August weary, come hither from your furrow and be merry. Make holiday your rye straw hats put on. Fresh nymphs encounter everyone in country footing.
I had almost forgot the foul plot of Caliban and his companions against my life. The moment of their plot is almost come. Well done, avoid, away, no more.
This is strange. Your father speaks in a fury that works him hardly.
Never till this day I saw him touched with anger, so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a move such as though you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels are now ended, and these, our actors, as I foretold you, are spirits, and melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, all which it inherit shall dissolve. Like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. For we are such things as dreams are made of. Your little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My old brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you please, retire unto my cell, and there a repose, a turn or two I'll take to still my beating mind.
We wish you peace.
Come with a thought, I thank thee, Ariel, come.
Thy thoughts I cleave to, what's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander, I thought to have told you of it when I presented Ceres, but I refrained, fearing I might anger thee.
Say again where thou didst leave those varlets.
Oh, I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smote the air, for breathing in their faces beat the ground, for kissing of feet, yet always bending towards their purpose. Then I blew my pipe, so that they pricked their ears, advanced their eyes, and lifted their noses, for they smelt music, so that, calf-like, they my lowing followed through thick forces, pricking gorse, and thorns, which entered their poor frail shins, until I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, dancing up to their necks in that foul swamp which overstinks their feet.
'Twas well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still, and go bring the trumpery from my house to lay for a stale to catch these as thieves.
I go.
A devil, a born devil, on whose nature nurture never can stick, on whom my pains, humanly taken, are all lost, quite lost. For as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring. Come, hang them on this line.
Pray you, tread softly, that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We are now near his cell.
Monster, your fairy, which you claim to be a harmless fairy, has done little better than play the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
As is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take any displeasure against you, look you,
thou wert but a lost monster.
Good my lord, give me thy favor still, for the prize I'll bring you to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly, all's hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool?
There is not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wetting. Yet this is your harmless fairy monster.
I should go fetch off my bottle, though I be o'er ears for my labor.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. See thou's here. This is the mouth of the cell. No noise, and enter. Do that good mischief, which may make this island thine own forever, and I thy Caliban, for I thy footlooker.
Give me your hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
O King Stephano, O peer, O worthy Stephano, look at what a wardrobe is for thee.
Let it alone, thou fool, it is but trash.
Oh, monster, but we know it belongs in a frippery. O King Stephano.
No, put off that gown. By this hand, I should have that gown.
Your grace shall have it.
The dropsy drowned this fool. What do you mean thus to dote such on this luggage? Let it alone and do the murder first. If he awake, from toe to crown, he'll fill us with pinches, makes it strange stuff.
Quiet, you monster. Mistress Line, is this not my jerkin? And is this jerkin not under the line? Now, jerkin, thou art like to lose your hair and prove to be a bald jerkin.
Do. We still buy line and level. Ain't that right, your grace?
I thank thee for the jest. Here's a garment for it. Wit shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country.
Monster.
Still by line and level. What an excellent passive pate. Here's another for it.
Monster, come put some lime on your fingers and away with the rest.
I shall have none of it. We shall lose our time, and I'll be turned into barnacles or apes with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, lay to your fingers and bear this way where my hogshead of wine is hid, else I should turn you out of my kingdom. Carry this.
And this.
Aye, and this.
And this.
Hey, mountain, hey!
Hark, silver, hark!
Fury, there, tyrant, hark! Go, charge my goblins that they grind their joints with dry convulsions, shorten their sinews with aged cramps, and more pin-spotted make them than pard or cat o' mountain.
Hark, they roar! Ow!
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lies at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the air of freedom. For a little while follow and do me good service. Soon my project gathers to a head, my charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
Past the 6 hour, at which time, sir, you said our labors would cease.
I did say so when first I raised the Tempest. Say, spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together in the same manner as you give charge. The king, his brother, and yours are all confined together in the vine grove which weather fends your cell. They cannot budge till your release. All 3 distracted, and the remainder mourning over them. But chiefly, sir, him that you termed the good old Lord Gonzalo. Oh, his tears run down his face like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works them that were you to behold him yourself, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, if I were human.
And mine shall. Hast thou which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their affliction, shall not I, one of their kind, that will all sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Yet with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick. With my nobler reason against my fury do I take part. The rare action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the soldiers by purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go, release them, Ariel. Their charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll set them free.
You elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and you who on the sand with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune and do fly him when he comes back. You demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the yew not bites. And you whose pastime it is to make midnight mushrooms, adores to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though you be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault have I set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong base promontory have I made shake, by the spurs plucked up the pines and cedars. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped, and let them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I now here abjure, that when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, To work my end upon those senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury at certain fathoms deep in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. A solemn air, and the best comforter to still an unsettled fancy, cure thy brains now boiled within thy skull. There stand, for you are spell stopped. Holy Gonzalo, honorable man, mine eyes, insociable to the show of thine fall, fellowly drops. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning creeps upon the night, melting the darkness, so do their rising senses begin to melt away the fumes that mantle their clearer reason. O good Gonzalo, my noble preserver and loyal sir, to him thou followest, I will repay the races back, both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood, you, brother mine, who entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, who, with Sebastian, whose inward pinches are therefore most strong, would here have killed your king, and to forgive thee unnatural, though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and the reasonable tide will shortly fill the shore that now lies foul and muddy. Now one of them that yet looks on me would yet know me. Spirit, fetch me my ducal robe from within my cell. I will discase me myself present, as I was once sometime Milan. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the bat's back do I fly. After summer merrily, merrily shall I live now. On the blossom that hangs on the bough.
'Twas well done, my delicate Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have your freedom. So, to the kingship invisible as thou art. There thou shalt find the mariners asleep under the hatches. The master and the boatswain being awakened, force them to come to this place. And presently, I prithee.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly creature, free us from this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance that a living prince does now speak to you, I do here embrace your body, and to you and your company I bid a most hearty welcome.
Where thou beest here, no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear a madness held me. This must crave, and if this be all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, I must embrace thine age which cannot be measured nor confined.
Whether this be or not be, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste of some subtleties the isle that would not allow you to believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all. But to you, my brace of lords, twere I so minded, I here could pluck his highness's frown upon you and justify you traitors. At this time I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No. For you, most wicked sir, whom our brother would even infect my mouth, I do forgive thy rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I now know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us the particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, whom 3 hours since were racked upon this shore.
I am woe for it, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help, of whose a solemn grace for the like loss I have her aid and rest myself content.
You like the loss?
As great to me as late and supportable have I means to make the loss dear to me. They're much weaker than you may call upon to comfort you, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh heavens, that they were both living in Naples, the king and queen together. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last Tempest. I perceive the authorities of this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason, scarce think their odds do officers of truth, their words are natural breath. But howsoe'er you have been just sold from your senses, that I am Prospero, the very duke which was thrust forth from Milan, whom most strangely upon this shore, where thou wast wrecked, was landed to be the Lord on it. No more yet of this, but 'tis a chronicle of day by day, not one for breakfast, nor befitting this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This cell's my court. Here have I few subjects and ministers none abroad. I pray you, look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I will replace you with as good a thing that you may have to call upon to comfort you, as much as I, my dukedom.
Sweet Lord, you play me false.
No, my love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this should prove a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, I curse them too hurriedly.
Oh, all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise and say how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here! How beauteous mankind is! Oh, brave new world that hath such people in it!
Yes, it is new to thee.
What is this maid with whom you were at play? Your eldest acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by a mortal providence she is mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father his advice, nor thought I had one. She is the daughter of this famous Duke of Milan, of whom I've heard much renown, but have never seen before. He has given me second life and second father. She makes him to me.
I am hers, but oh, how oddly it should sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrances with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept, or should have spoke ere this. Look down, you gods, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you who have chalked forth the way that has brought us hither.
I say amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan, that his issue should become kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, and place it down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find in Tunis, and Ferdinand, her brother, a wife, where he himself was lost, and Prospero, his dukedom, in this poor isle, and we ourselves, when we were not our own?
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow embrace the heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen. Oh, look, sir, look. Here are more of us. I swore that if there were not a gallows on land, that this fellow could not drown. Now blasphemy, which swears grace or board, hath no oath? Have you no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is we have safely found our king and company. The next our ship, by 3 glasses since we gave our split, is tight in yard and bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
So all the service have I done since I went?
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither?
If we were wide awake, sir, I would strive to tell you, but we were all dead of sleep, and I don't know how, but capped under hatches, with strange and several noises, of roaring, howling, shrieking, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible. We were awakened straightway at liberty, where we beheld a royal good and gallant ship, our master capering to eye her. But on a thrice, even in a dream we were divided, and brought mopping hither.
Was it well done?
Bravely, my diligence, thou shalt ere long be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod, and in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with the strangeness of this business, for at great leisure which shall be shortly, single a resolve which to you shall seem probable of every one of these happened accidents, till when be cheerful and think of each thing well. Go, set free Caliban and his companions, untie the spell. How fares my gracious sir? There are yet some of your company that you do not now remember, some 2 odd lads of which you know not.
Let every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio.
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here's a godly sight.
Oh, suppose these be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What things are these? Lord Antonio, can money buy 'em?
Very like. One is a plain fish, and no doubt marketable.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, and say if this be true. This misshapen nymph, his mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, deal in her command without her power. These 3 have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he's a bastard one, and conspired with them to take my life. 2 of these men you must know and own. This thing of darkness I acknowledge as mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
It is so, and he is drunk too. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling ripe. Say, how camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you that I fear me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing.
What? How now, Stefano?
Oh, I am not Stefano. I am but a cramp.
You'd be the king of the isle, sirrah.
I should have been a poor one.
And this is as strange a thing as e'er I looked upon.
He is as misshapen in his manners as he is in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions, as you wish to have my favor trim it most handsomely.
Aye, that I will. And I'll be wise hereafter, and seek for grace. Oh, what a thrice double ass was I to take this drunkard for a god and worship this old fool.
Go to, away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Sir, I invite you and your train here to my cell, where you shall stay this one night, which part of it I'll waste with such discourse as I doubt not to make it go swiftly by. The story of my life, the particular accidents gone by since I came to this isle. And in the morn I'll take you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptials of this dearly beloved couple solemnized, and thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought will be of my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I will deliver all, and promise thee calm seas, auspicious scales, and sail so expeditious you shall catch your royal fleet afar off. Aerial chick, that is thy charge, and then to the winds be free, and fare you well. Please you, draw near. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have left's mine own, which is most faint. Now it is true, I must here be confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardoned my deceiver dwell in this bare island by thy spell. But release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant. But my ending is despair, unless it be relieved by prayer, which whose piercers that it assaults, mercy itself, and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free.